All right.
All right, here we are.
That was fun.
Yeah, sorry about the delay. But welcome to the Generation Void. It's dangerous to go alone. Where we're going to be talking about some video game news, all that good stuff. We have a new support us at coffee.com/the Generation Void. Feel free to dono if you would like. You know, get the coffee. Yes, sir. Um, so that way people like me here at Addicts, I can do this full time like I want to. Be a content creator. Just want to mention that we got 60 members on our subreddit on the Retail Warzone. Want to thank each and every one of y'all for that. Let's keep that growing. For our Twitch followers, we have 37, still growing at a steady pace. Thank you for all for that. We got 32 subs on the YouTube. Our goal is 100 for our first milestone. And tonight we're going to be talking about some gaming news. Mainly Bethesda and their exclusive deal with Xbox. Steve, what you got for us?
All right. We got anybody out there? It's like pin drops. I don't see anybody in the chat or whatnot. Are we here all alone? If so, it is what it is.
Well, we did leave them hanging for 30 minutes.
No, we didn't. It wasn't 30 minutes.
Well, it was like 26, to be precise.
26 minutes. Yeah, you know.
We got Hero. What's up, Hero?
Yeah, Hero's here, so that's good.
Yeah.
So, Alex, why don't you go ahead and put in your links to your page in the chat real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can see me at YouTube/Addicts2993, and you can see me on Twitch /lowercase Addicts2993.
So what was the video you just did?
Video I just did, part of my classic game series where I'm playing through a ton of classic games. There's going to be reviews once I'm finished with them of the games, where I'm going to talk about them in great detail. But I just finished part 2 of my Star Fox playthrough for the Super Nintendo. One of my favorite retro games of all time, Steve.
Where's Low at? Low's normally here. Or where's Archer?
Last I knew, Archer was playing Apex Legends and Yellow Jacket was playing editing videos or something. I don't know.
Nice. What's up, Russell?
Yellow Jacket still celebrating their ACC tournament title victory.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, it's the big dance is upon us now.
Since 1993, Steve. Are you all in on Georgia Tech?
Am I all in on Georgia Tech? No.
Are they going to go all the way?
No. I mean, look, like I said in that message today, I saw a bracket where it had the Final Four as Alabama playing Oklahoma and Clemson playing Oral Roberts. I agree with our Bama friend. I do believe that you can't count out Patino at Iona. He's just a legendary coach. I know our friend was shocked that his boys won the SEC. Gonzaga's always there, like you said earlier. So I don't know. I mean, Clemson's not a basketball school, and our record in basketball is pretty shitty. And normally, and just like this year, we were one and done in the ACC tournament when you had Duke that just said, because of COVID, our season's canceled. Just pitiful. So while somebody's predicting Clemson to be in the Final Four, somebody's on some serious drugs.
Hey, they'll win a ton of money if that happens, though.
I mean, they've got the easiest route in the Midwest. I mean, that is true. I mean, they play Rutgers first. But, I mean...
Oh, they're not getting past Rutgers in my bracket.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Clemson basketball. I mean, they've broken our heart so many times. I think the furthest we ever got was the Final Eight. And that was when we back, God, that was decades ago. So I don't know. So, hello, we got anybody out there besides Hero and Russell? Going to be a long night.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Alex, what do you think about my background?
Oh, dude, it looks fantastic.
Yes, Space Invaders. You know, old.
I'm currently getting my green screen ready to put myself in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen or something.
How would
weird.
you do? Well, here's the thing: you got to theme it for everything we do. You know.
Oh, retail Warzone. I'm gonna be in the middle of like a Black Friday, just destroyed.
Speaking of retail Warzone, we'll just get this out of the way. Wednesday is going to be an epic event. We have 3 guests with us. So I think combined, you know, with myself and Alex and these 3 guests, it's well over 100 years worth of retail experience. So that'll be fun. Show up, ask questions, vent, raise hell. It's going to be interesting. One of them is from across the pond. So we get some insight into how retail is outside of the United States, which come to find out is very much different. And you know, they will be known by 3 names: the Irish Connection, the Mad Dog, and the Rider. Due to circumstances beyond our control, they obviously don't want to be on camera because they're still employed. So you'll be able to hear them talk, but we got these special little pictures or whatnot of them looking like, you know, mystery silhouettes or whatnot with their names above them. So that's going to be an adventure because we're going to have so many people on at the same time to see if we can actually get the audio to work correctly. So whoever's watching when we do that, please message us the moment you hear some sort of echo so I can try to fix it on the fly. That would be cool. So, Russell, you still there?
Yeah, it's sad that retail has come to that, by the way.
Yeah.
Where you'd have to be in fear of venting because, you know, your boss will just look at you and just be like, "You dare unleash my secrets."
Well, I mean, here's the thing, man. The retail thing is good because I think, Alex, you and I both have the same opinion that there's a lot of dirty that needs to be exposed. And, you know, the last episode was very enlightening. We didn't get lit up. It's, you know, it's a very polarizing topic, but, you know, I think the retail stuff is a huge draw. And we've done it enough that we have enough stories to tell to last a lifetime. So we get some other people involved in this. I mean, I really think Wednesday is going to be a lot of fun. If we can get through the technical aspects of it or whatnot, Wednesday is going to be great, because we get different opinions from people that are in the business that anybody who's watched us without other input will realize that we're not full of shit. It's really just that bad. F that. I'd have my name on there. Well, no, Russell, I agree. But, you know, some people, you know, when I started broaching these topics was, hey, look, if you want to come on, that's cool. It can be totally anonymous. You don't have to have a video feed up or anything like that. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. So we're just kind of shooting the shit right now, Alex, until we get some people here if they show up before we get into all the good stuff. So, you know, it's not like we have anything better to do. And Alex is like spending like 45 hours a week on his YouTube career. So guys, support him as much as you can. He needs all the help he can get.
Oh, yeah, please. Please. I have that listed on my bio, even in Twitch, that I would like to become a full-time content creator because I honestly think that I have the talent to do so. And why not? Why spend my talent breaking my back for someone who's never going to care about what I do anyway, versus I can work for myself.
Well, you need to listen to the gear guy here, and you need to ditch the headset. You need to get a microphone.
Well, the headset will go once the channel starts growing more. So that way I'm not just spending money for no reason.
Well,
but I do get what you're saying.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like I said, you know, okay, shameless plug time. This let's see here. Let's see if I can put this in. Give me just a second.
Oh boy.
Oh, it won't let me do that. Okay. Oh, I know why. But boy, listen to the God of Gear. No. Go to zzounds.com and you can buy a microphone and pay $24 a month for it till it's paid off, man. And it's only like 4 payments.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot because I can just get myself a good Blue Yeti. I can get myself the Nano.
I'm telling you, the microphone I have right now is better than the Yeti.
But that's enough about that, Steve.
I'm just saying.
Last year, Bethesda, Microsoft pulled the power play of the century and bought out Bethesda / Zenimax.
Yep.
Meaning they have exclusivity to those IPs. How big of a power move was that?
Here's the deal with all that. All right, so Bethesda, it's funny. If you read online now, Alex, all of a sudden, all these people are like, oh, I don't think Bethesda games are all that good. I mean, people that would like beg for a Skyrim, are now like, since it's exclusive, are trying to distance themselves from it because they don't like it. So it's kind of sad, really. I don't understand why all of a sudden people flip. The exclusive thing really drives people crazy. But, this is what we get to deal with. So Microsoft and Bethesda had a roundtable video. Now, everything that I use tonight, there's links in the description for all the articles and such. But, the gist of it was this. Phil Spencer said the following: we have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to support those games on the platforms they're on. There are communities of players. We love those communities, and we will continue to invest in them. And that's like Minecraft, legacy titles that they own, that they didn't pull. And when this slide goes away, I'll explain to you why that's kind of important. Even in the future, there might be things that have contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll still do. That's kind of talking about this game Deathloop that's coming out that was contracted to Sony, that they're under obligation to put that on the PlayStation as an exclusive. But here's the key. But if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this. It's about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. What that means is, if you don't have Game Pass, you don't get the game. And then they released, underneath that, you see the card, they dropped 20 Bethesda games in one shot on Game Pass. You got Dishonored, Dishonored 2, the original Dooms, Doom 64, Doom 3, which is one of my personal favorites, Doom Eternal, Fallout, New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, we won't talk about that, Prey, Rage 2, which is terrible, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online, The Evil Within, Wolfenstein, which is fantastic, Wolfenstein Old Blood, which is fantastic, and Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is fucking terrible. So, yeah. What's up, Archer? Good to see you here. So, before we get further into it, we got breaking news that's discussed today. I think this is from notebookcheck.com. Rumor: Microsoft eyeing up Konami and Sega acquisitions to possibly invigorate the waning Xbox consoles in Japan. So there you see it. The implications of that, if that was to actually go down, are huge. The link to the article is in the description of the video on YouTube, Twitch, etc. But what that does is, think about this for just a minute. Microsoft all of a sudden owns all Bethesda stuff, and then they own Sonic the Hedgehog, Castlevania, correct, Archer, Metal Gear Solid, and Silent Hill. At that point in time, Microsoft pretty much owns the game. The only other thing that could happen is, at best bet, Sony could, in a rush and out of panic, go buy Capcom to secure Resident Evil, and then go buy Square Enix. But Sony doesn't have as much money as Microsoft, and Microsoft is not playing around. If the Sega Konami rumors are true, the entire landscape of the game is about to change, and Game Pass will become the greatest thing ever in the history of video games. Speaking of Game Pass, announced today that Outriders is showing up day one on Game Pass. I believe Undertale comes to it tomorrow, which is cool for a lot of people. But yeah, man, Phil Spencer's not playing the fuck around. I mean, Microsoft, regardless of Japan, and, you know, when they talk about legacy things, you know, they could release games on other platforms, but just like with Minecraft, they phased out how you logged in, and then it all of a sudden became you had to have an Xbox Live account to sign in and play these games, which increases their user base. So Phil Spencer is like, has this scorched earth mentality going on right now that may change the gaming industry forever. Alex, your thoughts?
My thoughts: Sega buys Nintendo. Not Sega. Sony buys Nintendo. That would be power play of the century. That is something I want either Microsoft or Sony to buy Nintendo. That's just one of my crazy things. My thoughts on that: they get Metal Gear Solid. GG.
Yeah.
Castlevania.
Yep.
As Archer said in chat.
Yep.
Potential for Castlevania would be huge, especially if they give us what we all want. Castlevania Harmony of Despair 2.
Wrong.
I don't know if that's just a me and Archer thing.
No.
I want Harmony of Despair.
No.
Have you ever played Harmony of Despair?
What you want is a remaster of Castlevania 64. And by the way, Archer, I wanted to call you out for being the only person that participates in our Discord. Props to you. Cool. And I think you're probably the only person that voted in the poll besides me.
Lamau.
But hey, we appreciate you.
Oh no, Archer's my mod in my Discord. Like he's the greatest of all time. But no, Harmony of Despair 2. Steve, have you ever played Harmony of Despair?
No, I have not. And I'll be real honest with you. I loved Castlevania. I played 1. I played Simon's Quest. I played Dracula's Curse, which I requested for you to do one of your videos on. Castlevania 64. And Super Castlevania. And I did play Symphony of the Night. And that's about it.
That's I.
I did try the 360 game that was all like 3D or whatnot. I thought that sucked balls.
That game's actually very divided in the community. Either you really love it or you really hate it. Like, that's just how those games go.
But I do.
Harmony of Despair is essentially like a giant fan service game, literally made with like the greatest hits of the 2D Castlevanias, like stages, and it was co-op. Oh, it's so good.
Can we just agree that the Castlevania soundtrack in the retro era is better than anything else out there?
That's what Harmony of Despair does, dude.
Yeah.
It takes the retro and remixes it.
Well, what about that Bloodstained? Was it Ritual of the Night?
I played a little bit of that.
I did
it
too.
Definitely has the Castlevania feel.
Yeah, but the crafting and
like,
stuff turned me off. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And I deleted it.
Yeah, it also came out like they announced it too early and it came out too late. It's just one of those things where it just felt like the hype died down for it by the time it actually got here.
But I mean, think about this for a minute. You know, going back to what you said, Nintendo, nobody's buying Nintendo. That will never,
no chance.
Yeah, it will never happen. And Nintendo is the shining beacon of light, of ingenuity in the gaming industry, period. And, you know, the NPD sales charts came out today. Believe it or not, you got to look at price points. What, a Switch is what, $299, correct?
I think $249.
$249, all right, and a PS5. You know, you've got the top one's $499, and then the digital's $399, if I'm not mistaken. Nintendo, in dollars, and that's important, in dollars because of the price difference. In dollars and unit sales, beat the PlayStation 5. Even though the PlayStation 5 is on a trajectory where it has outdone the PS4.
The only problem is about the PS5 is the custom SSD that they have in it. They cannot create units fast enough.
Nope.
So, I mean, that's why Nintendo's still ahead.
Well, here's the thing, too, with the PS5. They've got a slot to use NVM2 SSD drives. And they've yet to say, hey, you can use such and such, SSD drive to expand your storage. At least Microsoft partnered with Seagate and have those expansion SSDs that cost an arm and a leg. But at least they were there. Mm-hmm. And going back to Microsoft for a minute, look at some of the things they're doing. All right, so one of the things they've done is, are you familiar with this FPS boost that they're doing, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got people playing Fallout 76, which was a troubled game when it launched, that now is running at a smooth 60 frames per second. And they're taking these games. I know you from a console standpoint, listen, mister, I've got a PC, part of the PC master race, and eventually you'll be back console and it won't matter. But anyway.
No.
But here's the thing.
Once you go PC, you don't go back,
when you've got locked frame rates, and they've got some games that they're shooting like 120, 125 FPS. I mean, Microsoft is serious about this. And a lot of people give Microsoft a lot of shit about the Xbox launch because Halo was a fail and it got pushed back and whatnot. But Microsoft is playing the long game. Sony is not.
Microsoft is playing the long term, yes.
And
the thing is, Sony's exclusives aren't going to be good enough to keep them relevant compared to what Microsoft is buying.
I mean, but
Microsoft's going for the world.
Much disappointment, though. Archer and I kind of talked about this in the chat. We talked about it on Discord. It's kind of peculiar that they released these Bethesda games, but Doom 2016 wasn't there, and Evil Within 2 wasn't there. I've played Evil Within 1. I'd like to play 2. I'm on the fence about purchasing it. But here's the thing. They announced today with a teaser for the Ancient Gods Part 2 for Doom Eternal that the Doom Slayer's story is coming to an end. So it looks like they're about to put Doom on the shelf and let it rest for a while. But I read a really great rumor today that they're going to reboot Quake.
That would be a power play. Give it the Doom treatment because...
And Microsoft owns it now.
Yes, they do.
And
yes, they do.
And what I'm excited for in the future, it won't be on this iteration, even though Quake... Man, I would love to see Quake 3 Arena rebooted. That would be fantastic. I love that game on the Dreamcast. Imagine this. Imagine a Halo running on the id Tech engine.
That would be the play.
That would be the end all be all. But they're acting like the new Halo Infinite is going to be like a 10-year game. I just don't see that. If since they bought Bethesda and Zenimax, I'd run Halo 4 years maybe, and I would be working.
Well, that's actually a new model for a lot of shooters that are competitive like that.
Well, it's
the 10-year model.
Well, it's games as services, which I think sucks personally, to be honest with you.
I think it's hit or miss, and it just depends on the game. Because, like, it's going to kind of hurt my soul a little bit to say this. But, like, Rainbow Six Siege is doing it correct. Whereas, like, other games, I'm trying to just think a good example off the top of my head, are not. But, like, yeah, that game literally has new content coming out. Like, keeps it relevant every 4 to 5 months. Keeps it going.
You want to talk about being in the minority? Speaking of Rainbow Six, I wish it went back to what like Rainbow Six 1, 2, and 3 was.
You're not the only one.
Did you like that, Alex? Where you plotted out where everybody was going and whatnot? I thought that I would love to see that again. Or if they could do an offshoot that brings that back.
They actually have a great indie game right now called Due Process that literally does that.
Really?
And it's all multiplayer.
Oh.
Like, and the maps are procedurally generated. It's a great game. Also, another game called Intruder.
Rainbow Six 3, I loved it.
Yeah, the reason why that hurts my soul a little bit is because I put so many hours into Rainbow Six Siege. It's just painful to talk about.
Oh, was it Rainbow Six Vegas was great.
I didn't play that one, but
see, I'm in like the Rainbow Six games. I enjoy the campaign. And we've discussed this before. I'm just not competitive and want to play online. I'm just not. And
well, yeah, that's how the 10-year cycle for these games go. I wished Call of Duty would take that route. They are beginning to take that route with Warzone. Not nearly as much time as you, Brett.
No, Mr. Crawford. You're streaming every day, like hours on end. You guys have the competitive market nailed down. Period.
No. Brett there.
Great streams, though. Great streams.
Brett there literally has probably 2,000 hours in the Rainbow, just on PC. Not counting his 2,000 on console. I have 1,000 on console and 600 in PC.
Now, are all the Rainbows... When did Rainbow Six go strictly online?
With Siege.
With Siege. All right. So was that last gen? It came out at the beginning. It came out last gen. Is that right?
No, it came. Yeah, it came out PS4 at Xbox One.
Right. So
I actually played the beta for that. Fun fact, but
who does? That's Ubisoft, right?
Yeah. Great developer.
See, that's another. Well, no. And I'm going to say why Ubisoft is not a great developer, because
I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, they treat Rayman like shit.
Yeah, they don't exactly like to listen to us hardcore fans neither. That's my big problem with them. Like they treat they want all the casuals. Hardcore means nothing to them. COD World War II is good. Well, Russell, you're going to be happy about something, because the rumor is that we're getting another game like World War II from the same developers.
But does it have campaign?
Yeah, I don't have a campaign. There's no way with Black Ops 4 not having a campaign, that backlash they got for that, there's no way they go without a campaign ever again. Because now we have the Battle Royale with Warzone. This is why I really like Call of Duty Warzone, because it is the Call of Duty with the 10-year model. That's why I love it.
Vietnam's probably too polarizing for them to attempt, to be honest with you.
Vietnam is sort of covered in Cold War and in Black Ops 1.
Is it?
But they really can't do a whole thing on it, though.
So let me ask this for everybody. Are you pissed off that games are going to become exclusive to Microsoft or not?
As long as we don't lose, as long as I can still play them on PC, I'm okay with that.
But what if they?
Like, it doesn't bother me.
But what if? No, not really. But what if they don't port in the PC? I think they will. I think a lot of these games under the Game Pass model will go to PC. But how many people are going to lie and say, oh, well, that game wasn't that good to begin with, that have been playing it forever just because now Microsoft has it? And I think there'll be a lot of that, actually. My predictions are, I do believe that Microsoft already tried to buy Warner Brothers once, and the deal got scrapped. All right. It would not surprise me if Microsoft pulls out buying Ubisoft at all. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, look at what's underneath Ubisoft's umbrella. All of a sudden, they own those. And then if they, the biggest thing.
Maybe they could give Splinter Cell some love.
Yeah, and which a lot of people are asking for. But Microsoft's not done buying shit by no means. I mean, they paid $7.5 billion for the Zenimax acquisition. They would get Sega for way cheaper than that.
And Konami for even cheaper because
Konami
their stocks are so far down.
Konami doesn't even make games anymore. Konami is licensing out the properties. Konami's making pachinko games and arcade games in Japan.
Yeah.
So,
and card games.
I mean, just think about this for just a minute. Even if Microsoft bought just Sega, that's what, House of the Dead?
Hey,
Sonic
potential Super Monkey Ball?
Super Monkey Ball, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, for Microsoft all of a sudden own Sonic, and there's movies and shit coming out. Come on, man. It's if they actually pull this off, if the rumor is true, and they purchase Konami and Sega, it's almost just about a wrap. Because Sony is going to have to pony up money for Capcom or Square Enix. Period.
Well, it would have to be both.
Yeah,
but
and I just don't see Sony doing that, because even now, Sony's still losing. Sony still hasn't figured it out. Sony's still losing money on consoles. So
the thing is, Sony used to be known as the for the fans underdog. You know, they didn't have Call of Duty exclusivity. It was all Microsoft. And suddenly things changed with the PS4 and the Xbox One, where Microsoft was the greedy, corporate, money-hungry people with the DRM and how bad that was. And Sony was like, this is how you can share games with friends.
Well,
here you go.
Well, here's the thing, man. Look, Game Pass is fucking phenomenal. And when you start looking at what Microsoft is buying, for $15.99 a month for Ultimate to get it on PC and console, Sony going to find themselves in a world of hurt really, really fast in the next 5 to 10 years if they don't do something. Nintendo is always going to be Nintendo and will always survive and will always overcome the odds because they're the innovators.
Nintendo has so many good IPs, though,
and
exclusive.
And I would be willing to bet money. I mean, I know you pondered the idea of Sony buying Nintendo. I'm telling you right now, if Nintendo was up for sale, Microsoft would win that bid.
Oh, right now,
because Microsoft's already tried. Yes, Russell, Game Pass Ultimate is both.
Yeah, for PC and console. Yep, I get a lot of my games through Game Pass now.
Look, we had Netflix, and I don't watch TV and I don't watch movies and stuff all that much. Oh, speaking of which, Alex, I'm not meaning to change the subject. I know we were talking about what we were going to do next Monday, but what do you think about if I fork out the money for me to get HBO Max, and instead of talking about what you wanted to talk about Monday, we talk about Justice League? Because IGN reviewed it today and gave it an 8 out of 10 and said it was way different and much better than the Josh Whedon version.
I've heard that it's really good. That being said, Steve, I'll message you as we can just set up a watch party on that.
Yep.
I'll set up how we could do that. But with that being said, I just want to circle back to Bethesda. A lot of the reason why there's a big hatred upon them is because of the failure of Fallout 76.
I agree with you.
Just because of how much. First off, Fallout. that's one of the biggest IPs there is.
It is.
Like, new Fallout comes out, everyone's hyped. That game is just held up to the moon.
Can I interject real quick? I downloaded. Well, no, my son actually, Fearmonger, got me Fallout 4 because I asked for it, and I thought it looked kind of janky. Am I correct in that?
You are. That's just also the kind of Fallout art style and the Bethesda style.
Okay.
It's just those games kind of have like an acquired taste. But when they took 76 and made all these promises to us, and then you get the game, you just fall through the map, and it don't have work at all, runs horrible, and there's just literally nothing to do in the main world. That put Bethesda as being shown as just money hungry, just a cash grab. So that resulted in a lot of the fan base turning on them. And trust me, a lot of us fan base were very terrified about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfall. But the fact that Starfield. I always get them confused. But the fact that Microsoft has potential to own those, both, especially Elder Scrolls, I think that's the game changer.
I agree. Elder Scrolls is such a big deal for so many people that, I mean, if you were going to look at the IPs they bought and you had to pick, say, 4 that would be Xbox exclusives, Elder Scrolls is number 1. And, it's... I mean, why wouldn't they do that? I mean, you're going to purchase this stuff and you want to get people in your ecosystem and whatnot. People get pissed off about it. No, it's anti-consumer. No, it's not. Hello, Mr. Denon. It's, they bought these things. They want you in their ecosystem. And honestly, if you've been in their ecosystem and if you're a part of Game Pass, you can actually say, hey man, it's worth it. Because look at how much next-gen games are selling for now. You don't have to pay $70 at retail for a next-gen game if it comes to Game Pass on day one. You don't.
Archer, I could be wrong. I think Elder Scrolls has always been biggest on PC anyway. I could be wrong. I want to say the console that it sold the most, not last gen, but the gen like PS3 and Xbox 360, I want to say the 360 version blew everything out of the water.
I think you're correct there, actually. And the amount of of
as
people,
far as next gen, it was PS4.
Now, the amount of people who were so excited that Oblivion showed up on Game Pass.
I know, that's insane.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, how old's that game now? So, I mean,
a little over 10.
Yeah, with what Microsoft did with the Zenimax is a huge power play. I mean, I mean, put it in football perspective. It'd be like Bama buying Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you got to think, Steve, they literally chose the perfect time.
They did.
Pandemic, everything, everyone's low on fundage. What a huge investment.
I mean, $7.5 billion fucking dollars. My God, that just shows you how much money Microsoft has to spend. And they're not done. And right before they bought ZeniMax, they were on the verge of buying Warner Brothers Interactive, and that fell through. So they were going to wind up, if that wouldn't have fallen through, not only would they have bought ZeniMax, but they would have got Warner Brothers, which would have made Mortal Kombat theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man. The people running Microsoft know what the fuck they're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
they do. They're going after it. I'm sure there's been offers made to other publishers and stuff that we haven't heard about that are huge. I mean, it money talks and bullshit walks, man. Especially in the pandemic. You really nailed that point right there. I mean, that was very astute for you. I mean, that, when things are lagging and money is not certain, you get somebody like Microsoft to swoop in and start offering bags of cash. Well, fuck yeah, let's go. Now.
Yeah, well, we've had our run.
Yeah, exactly.
Todd Howard just gets to smile.
There was this thing going around on 4chan talking about that Todd Howard wasn't happy about any of it, and I think it's bullshit because Todd Howard got fucking paid. So
Todd Howard, I promise you, he's not upset.
Ooh, Mr. Denon, that is a great question. Do you all hate EA like we do here? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
EA.
Oh yeah.
Sucks. EA is the loot box manufacturer of the world, and EA is just it takes EA so long to support Nintendo just because of numbers. Fuck EA. I mean, if EA was so good, the new Lucasfilm gaming brand wouldn't be here. They completely
botched
Star Wars.
Yes. They botched that so hard.
And, EA is more concerned about microtransactions and whatnot. And sure, we got the Frostbite engine on Switch for Batter for Neighborville. That's great and all. But no, EA sucks. And EA has sucked for a long time. So, I mean, EA, loot boxes are in the game. That should be their thing. All right, so Alex, we've done the Xbox thing and whatnot. So you want to talk some Nintendo?
Oh, we can, but I do have a question for chat, just real quick.
Go ahead.
Everyone in chat, if in this hypothetical universe, Microsoft were to buy Konami, Sega, like we've been talking about for the past 45 minutes.
Yep.
What is the game you would like to see? Fine.
Ooh.
I want them to redo. Let's start from a new Metal Gear Solid timeline. Let's go there. Just leave your answer. We're going to proceed to the Nintendo news.
Oh.
Because we'll see it about 20 seconds from now. But
Alex,
Nintendo news.
Alex, you want to know what mine is?
What's that?
A proper return to Sonic, a.k.a. Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast.
Oh, yes. Sonic Adventure 3? Yes, sir.
Properly done. All right, so leave your answers on chat. So, Nintendo. So, there's been all sorts of new rumors popping up all of a sudden. Here we go. So, according to Bloomberg, the new Switch Pro, which they dub it here, I don't think it's going to be a Pro, I think it's just going to be a revision, will feature a 7-inch display as opposed to the current model's 6.2 inches. What's more, it will do away with LCD technology in favor of an OLED screen, making it much brighter and crisper. Bloomberg's report also corroborates recent rumors that the new Switch will support 4K output when connected to a television. While the Switch currently supports 1080p output while docked or 720p in handheld mode, 4K video would be new frontier for Nintendo. Exploring Breath of the Wild's Hyrule or zooming around Bowser's Castle in Mario Kart will be more immersive experiences ever in crisp 4K. So that was the initial report from Bloomberg. And then there was some other stuff that came out, and that's the little blurb underneath. Rumors regarding a quote-unquote pro version of the Nintendo Switch console have been heating up this month, and it seems the current model of the console could be on its way out the door. According to a source for Game Reactor, NVIDIA will stop producing its Tegra X1 Mariko processor this year. The system on a chip, parentheses SoC, is used in the Switch and Switch Lite. With Bloomberg reporting that a new Switch model is set to begin production this year, the timing would make sense. As with all rumors, readers will want to take this with a grain of salt until confirmed. So there you go. You got a Nintendo Switch with DLSS 2.0 plus an OLED screen, 4K. So what we're looking at here is, in my opinion, just a revision of what we have now. Because if NVIDIA has decided not to make the SoC anymore, well, guess what? Nintendo, you got to move along with NVIDIA. You signed the contract. You're done. So it only makes sense to do that. And I've watched a ton of videos talking about the PS Vita that had an OLED screen, and OLED is fantastic. And you'll see a lot of arguments about, oh, well, it's only 720p and handheld. It's handheld. You don't need 1080p. Your eyes aren't going to be able to tell the difference anyway. So everybody needs to remember that Nintendo has kept saying that the Switch was a family of systems. And this is where I get on my soapbox to tell you that there will be a Switch box. It's coming. Trust me. But if NVIDIA is not making the Tegra anymore, then there has to be a revision because Nintendo's not going to be able to source that SoC anymore. So what's next? Well, it's the Mariko. And the Mariko gives us the ability to do, the DLSS 2.0, which if you go and you watch the videos and you see what this does, this is going to put a Switch at like a baseline PS4. Now, some people will say, well, that's, not next gen. No, it's not. But you have a portable console in your hand that can mimic a PS4. That is fantastic for gamers. And the big thing is, I don't know who you guys watch or whatnot. I watch, there's two YouTubers I watch pretty consistently. One is Spawnwave and one is RGT85. And then I watch the Spawncast on Saturday nights when they have a group of people and they have Nate the Hate, which is Nate Drake from Reset Era, and MVG, which is Modern Vintage Gamer. And they've done a lot of discussions about the information they know about the Nintendo. There's going to be games that come out that are exclusive to the new revision. And that's going to piss some people off. But it happened with the 3DS. I'm hoping that Breath of the Wild 2 is not going to be one of those.
It's not.
And I don't think it would be. Not. But Archer, you're correct. Focus on performance in general. Yeah, I mean, the Nintendo Switch is 4 years in. It's time. And the one thing Fukuhara, the president, has made mention of, which is true, is there was a point in time in the Wii's life cycle where they just kind of let it go, and they didn't do anything to refresh it, and it dropped off. Now, the Wii goes down as one of the greatest selling consoles of all time.
Well, if anything, they receded because they released the Wii Mini.
They did.
That didn't have Wi-Fi capabilities at all.
Right.
You couldn't play GameCube games in it. Granted, the console looked badass. Yeah. I loved how it looked, but
they've learned from that. There should have been a Wii HD. There should have been some sort of bump.
Yeah, there is. It's called the Wii U.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about the Wii U. Although, I love the Wii U. You and I worked together at Felmart. I bought that. I got that the day it came out. I mean, my Wii and my Wii U, both of them were launch days. Both of them.
Yep.
But, the thing with it is, Nintendo acknowledges now that they fucked up with the Wii. They could have got some longevity out of that if they made it HD and whatnot. And they're wanting to make sure they don't do that with the Switch. And I do agree what we're going to see going forward, unless Nintendo does a very Nintendo thing, is the Switch is going to be like cell phones. The Switch is going to be like, okay, well, here's the new version. Oh, look, here's the new version of the Switch. Oh,
yeah, no, they're gonna keep the Switch branding because they tried to keep the Wii branding with the Wii U. But the thing is they did a Nintendo thing and named it something god awful.
And their marketing, their marketing was so terrible for it.
Yes, literally everyone thought it was just that tablet.
Yeah.
they didn't even realize it was a new
No,
console.
they did not, which was really terrible. And but hindsight's 2020. So yes, but see, the bigger thing is if Nvidia is not doing the Tegra X1 and not doing the SoC anymore, that means there's going to have to be a revision of not only the mainline Switch but the Switch Lite.
Mm-hmm. I think they discontinued the Switch Lites because I think they made a huge mistake with those.
I think they discontinued the Switch Lites, and I think that's where the Switch Box comes in. Because the Switch Box is going to print money if they do it, all right? Because it's just a fully docked box that comes with a Pro controller that doesn't cost a lot of money to make, and it's just another member of the family. It's not for everybody. Because I mean, face it, the portability aspect of the Switch is fantastic. If you're into that,
I'm all in. I'm all in on the Switch box. But I think, honestly, do we know if our current predicament with the pandemic, do you know if we have E3 this year or not? Because I actually haven't really researched
E3 has announced that it's going to be all digital. And the problem with E3 being all digital is, why would the different game houses and manufacturers play with that when they can do their own damn thing? So E3 as a physical presence for this year was canceled officially. And it's officially known as an online digital only event. The question is, how many manufacturers are going to take part in that? Because at this point, E3 doesn't mean a fucking thing. You got Nintendo Directs, you got State of Plays, you've got all these different things.
Ubisoft Connect.
Yeah.
You got.
Well, digital E3 is going to cost a hell of a lot less. Yes, it is. And I do believe that unless major manufacturers do it out of tradition, that E3 is going to be a bust. I think Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo can go off and do their own fucking things. Hell, what is it? Square Enix trademarked a thing to do their own presentations and whatnot. E3 is about to become a thing of the past. And, and when you look at E3, I mean, QuakeCon is just as big as E3 as a whole. An interesting story about QuakeCon, the last major retailer I worked for, I had to take a trip to a major resort. It was called the Gaylord Texan in Texas. And, man, it sucked, Alex, because I flew in the day after QuakeCon. QuakeCon happened the 2 days prior to me flying in. So I got there early. I wound up at the resort at like 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning, and seeing all these id people leave out with big carts of PCs and whatnot. I don't remember. There were a couple of guys that are pretty huge with that I actually saw leaving. I saw all these people leaving with merch, like these Quake jerseys and Doom jerseys and stuff and whatnot. And I was like, damn it, if I could have just flown in a day earlier. But yeah, QuakeCon is, in my opinion, just as huge as E3. And E3, the big thing about them is the displays, and Nintendo's always better than everybody else's. So, if Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft decide to do their own thing, E3 might as well just, shut the door. It's over.
Yeah, and that's the big unfortunate, but I hope that they keep tradition though, and still just, we all got to have a big thing for July or June.
Oh, well, yeah.
As a gamer, E3 has always been my favorite.
I love E3. I mean, God, we've Alex, even since I met you, at Felmart, we're always messaging each other around E3. Hey, what's going to happen? And blah, 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 and have been. And that's been how many years now?
Hey, you remember closing the store that
night?
Yep,
and watching that shit.
The PS4?
Yep.
When the PS4 was being revealed?
Yep.
Dude, literally closing the store, having customers, can you help us? And we're just both just...
That is a great question in the chat from Mr. Denon. Do microtransactions or bullshit DLC add-ons drive you insane? Microtransactions, yes. Bullshit DLC, if it is truly bullshit DLC, yes. Alex, would you agree that Nintendo has been the best with their DLC? Go back to the Wii U and think about the DLC from Mario Kart and Zelda.
I think that Nintendo misses the ball with a lot of DLC.
But when they do provide it
too late. The Smash DLC has been a major hit. I will say that. And the fact that it's actually heavily rumored that we're getting a Pass 3 now. That they're
Hero
not close to being done yet.
Oh, Hero brings up a good point. Super Nintendo World. Shit, man. COVID or not, if I could get the funding to go to Japan and go to Super Nintendo World, fucking sign my ass up. Let's go.
Oh, I'm trying to go to Universal.
Well, Universal's 2 years off now. It got delayed again.
Yeah.
I would much rather go to Japan because that's the motherland. That's the home of Mario.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One day I'm going. One day I'm going, damn it.
The augmented reality Mario Kart ride.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've seen the patent.
I sure have.
That's enough to make me go to Orlando.
Japan 100%. Is the dream. Hey, you know what? What we should do is we should start a separate fund for everybody that watches It's Dangerous to Go Alone and donate as much as we can so we can have a group of us go to Japan and just call it a day. I'm down with that.
That sounds like a plan.
I watched a video of a guy who bought a junk Wii for a junk Wii for $1, and it spent him $5 to fix it. Fuck that shit. Let's go, man. I want those video game stores. Let's go.
Dude.
I mean, hell, Alex, look at the shit I've shown you that I've ordered off Amazon Japan. For anybody out there that's into gaming, let me throw something at you. Shipping costs a shit ton from Japan to the United States. But I bought a black Japanese Wii. All right. Mint in box. All paperwork, box flawless, plastic wrap, whole 9 yards, units clean as shit. You take the shipping out of it. What was it, Alex? I think I paid like $15 for that fucking thing.
Yeah. No, I remember you sending it to me, and I was like so insanely jelly.
I mean, the shipping is what gets you. But hell, at that, I got basically a brand new black Japanese Wii for less than $50.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to my apartment in like 7 days. I bought a Japanese GameCube in mint fucking condition.
Did you see the patent, Steve, for the Donkey Kong minecart ride?
No, I have not. They're talking about putting that there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
In Universal.
Oh.
That's something that got like...
Oh.
That was something that was going to be a year off from when it opened anyway.
You know...
But somehow they're going to import where you have to jump the minecart. That's in the fucking patent.
That would be beautiful. That jump in the minecart was the most stressful fucking thing ever.
Like, that is actually going to be a part of the ride. I don't know how they're going to do it. But, oh my God. But that augmented reality Mario Kart ride.
Yeah, I would love to go. I feel...
You actually have to put on like a pair of Google glasses.
Yeah.
And you get your items and you throw them.
I mean, I feel...
And it actually makes the other carts spin out and shit. Like, that's crazy.
I feel like your loyalty only counts if you make the pilgrimage to Japan and go to that one. I mean, sure, we can go to the one in Florida, but it just doesn't... It's not going to feel right. You have to go where it's at. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, they have literal... real life Mario Kart races in the streets in Japan. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So we're sitting an hour. Thanks for all of you that watched this evening. I want to go real quick about what's coming Wednesday. Wednesday is very, very important as far as the retail thing goes. We got
Wednesday. We are doing an all in.
Wednesday, all in. Everyone's here. You know, introducing new fighters, so to speak. Where it's going to be great. We're going to have 3 different managers on with us, in addition to myself and Alex. You get to ask questions and whatnot. We want people here because we have some managers that are from overseas that can give us perspective on what kind of bullshit goes on over there. We got some managers here in different aspects of business. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be like a mini free-for-all. So barring any technical difficulty, it should be great. So everybody, please tune in Wednesday. For you guys that have tuned in tonight, appreciate it. Pretty quiet night, but it's because, I think Alex, you and I can agree the retail thing really is the big draw right now, but that doesn't mean that Mondays suck. Mondays we have cool stuff too. So, especially as football season gets closer. By the way, I just want to say the Georgia Bulldogs suck. Anyway, so Alex, do you have anything to add before we get off here?
I do. Just on the Wednesday retail Warzone, I think this is how we're gonna do it. I think that I want to be the one, since I'm like the employee, so I'm like the underling
to ask the questions.
Yep,
I'm fine with that. Just remember, Alex, 7:30, we're convening on Skype.
Yes, we probably need to go ahead and just try to get the stream started early too.
Well, no, we're going to start 8 because it's going to take 7:30. It's going to take about half an hour to get everything set up and make sure everything works right.
And for our overseas friend, we need to make sure that time zones.
No, he's good. I've already talked to him, so we're good there.
Okay.
The big thing that we're going to need from everybody on Wednesday is once we start broadcasting, please leave a comment immediately if you hear an echo. I think I've got it figured out that we shouldn't, but if we do, let me know so I can get that fixed, because we're trying to make sure that it's set up that when each individual is speaking, you know who's talking. It may not work out that way, but we're going to try.
But I would like for people who's watching from my Discord or people who's watching from the Generation Void Discord, leave me some questions that I can ask all these managers, because I'm going to be outnumbered.
Yeah, you're going.
Or maybe
it's going to be 4-1
because y'all are going to be on my side.
Well, here's the thing.
So maybe we can outnumber them together.
You bring up a good point. Interaction is important, and we don't get a lot of it. And we're only been doing this like a month or so. But, we really do. We're not bullshitting you. Send Alex questions.
Well, the thing is, Steve, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it is.
Like, that's going to take a while, because you got to get a lot of people talking.
Yep.
Like, that's something I've learned with community building. Like, it just takes time.
Well,
like, it's going to take a lot of time.
It is.
But,
but
once you get them talking,
exactly,
they're never going to stop talking.
Exactly. So,
just never stops. So, but the big key to that is we got 60 members on the Retail Warzone Reddit, and we want you guys talking. So there'll be a post from me here soon.
And yes, if you just saw the little graphic, please go to our YouTube and subscribe. We'd appreciate it.
Yep.
So,
but there will be a post from me soon on there. All of y'all.
Alex, Hero says share coffee again.
I read that as share Kofi. I was like, share Kofi Kingston?
Kofi.
That's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, he's all right. Alex, dude, I do think with the way AEW is going, we probably need to do a wrestling thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Sting's the man.
I'm always gonna be a WWE guy though, man. Like, it's hard for me to turn against
Dude,
WWE.
have you seen the Sting Darby Allin Team Taz street fight match yet?
I haven't got to see
it. It is fantastic. You need to watch it. It is very well done.
I actually think those pre-recorded wrestling matches are the future.
Yep, and Sting got the pin, motherfuckers.
I think those are the future, because look at the Undertaker AJ Styles match.
Yeah, exactly.
How much that popped off. Oh. No one really talks about the Bray Wyatt John Cena pre-recorded, but yeah.
4 Horsemen.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right. Everybody.
But anywho, support us on Ko-fi.com/thegenerationvoid. So that way people like me, I can do this full time.
Hey, look, internet. Alex is looking for you guys to retire his ass. So the sooner you do it, the sooner you don't have to hear about it. So good.
Exactly.
So send us some cashola. So we can get Mr. Up and Coming where he wants to be. Share your link one more time, Alex, before we sign off here.
Oh yeah, sure. You can follow my YouTube at YouTube. Wow, I can't type. YouTube/addicts2993. You can follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/addicts2993. Got a new series that I've been doing recently of classic games. If you enjoy watching very classic games, very old games, I've been doing full playthroughs of those. Get to see those, and there'll be a review when I finish the game.
Yep.
So I can't wait to do those.
Nice.
Considering that I know how to use DaVinci Resolve now.
Yeah, DaVinci Resolve is good stuff, man. Congrats on getting that.
DaVinci Resolve is real good stuff.
All right.
All right. We're going to be seeing y'all Wednesday. I need some questions to ask these managers. So as you as an employee,
Bring it.
I'm talking to you. I'm also just the employee. I'm the peon. I'm the one that feels worthless. So I need questions to ask these guys. What is something you have always wanted to ask your manager? Challenging each and every one of y'all right now. Hit us up. All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. Wednesday night's going to be fun. Tell your friends. Come on. It's going to be a good one. So, Alex, unless you got anything, everybody have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Oh, I just literally said everything.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.
All righty.